just a couple bad weather fans representing New York, talking all things sports. Man, what could go wrong? We got Alex, who's a fan of the Knicks, and Mike of the Nets. The yin-yang of the tri-state, place your bets on the Yankees, Giants, Mets, or Jets. Yeah, you should listen if they're sparking your interest. If you made a vow to your team, don't break it. Bad weather fans is the relation.
That's right, this is Bad Weather Fans, episode number 283. Mike Biseglia, Alex Benesowitz, and we are presented by Odyssey. Brooklyn Nets and the New York Knicks have had games. Nets one preseason game, 1-0. Knicks two preseason games, 2-0. But we'll start, Alex, with the news yesterday from Sean Charania that the New York Knicks were actively looking to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and that the Knicks were the trade partner that Giannis had desired to go to. Was interesting because I know over the summer, a lot of speculation all over the place with Giannis, Knicks coach. But now we got the official report that he was digging the Knicks, but there just wasn't enough or didn't come to fruition. Maybe it will in the future. Who knows? But Alex, basketball is back. It's good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we're recording this at 6:05 in the morning on Wednesday, October 8th. Please like, subscribe so we can do this at a normal time during the day one day. No, I'm kidding. But like and subscribe. Enjoy us. If you enjoy us, and enjoy us. So anyway, over the summer, there were all these rumors about Knicks and Giannis, and everybody dismissed it like it was nothing. Called me crazy, called you crazy, called people crazy that thought Giannis to the Knicks was a possibility. And it turns out it was true. He was legitimately looking to go to the Knicks. The Knicks and the Bucks had a 2-week exclusive trade window, apparently, according to Shams, of discussions. And it went nowhere because the Knicks are like, these are the things that we can offer. And the Bucks are like, we don't want those things. And it's like, all right, well, see ya. And, it's just as simple as that. And the Knicks didn't think they were serious. And of course, if the Knicks thought they were serious, they would have gotten other teams involved to get it done. If Giannis officially demanded a trade, it would have gotten done. But at the end of the day, the Knicks are championship contenders with or without Giannis. Giannis needs the Knicks more than the Knicks need him to win a championship in the future. I know he's already won a championship. The Knicks won't be affected by this at all. There was never a formal offer. If a team calls and says, hey, you want to talk about one of the best players in the world, you take the conversation, you take the call, you have the discussion, and you move on. And Mike Brown, being an experienced coach, will know how to handle this. The Knicks have been around the block. They're all professionals. It won't be a problem. This is all just Giannis's agent just dropping a bomb before the season to create controversy to get him traded by mid-season, maybe the end of the season. So after the season. So it is a lot of nothing, but it's fun to talk about. It's fun to discuss. It's fun to dream, but it's also nice as a Knicks fan being the wanted and not wanting, not being the shiny object, not wanting the shiny object. It's nice to sit back and see where we have come since even when we started this podcast of the Knicks begging stars to come, and now stars are begging to come to the Knicks. So it's exciting. It's fun. Let's go Knicks. Let's win championship anyway.
Well, you bring up a point that I wanted to hit on was, the timing of this. It's not like Sean Charania is digging through and he's doing investigative reporting and he finds this. That's not the way things work. Somebody told, he's beyond connected, and somebody told him. So why did somebody tell him, and why did somebody want the news out now? And I think that's really important to understand. And I think you hit the nail on the head with Giannis is setting the breadcrumbs for later, so that when he eventually is dealt, the blow is softened and whatever happens, happens. Now, if that's to the Knicks, if it's to another team, who the hell knows in the future? Things can change pretty fast, dictated on a couple of points. Like, what if the Knicks don't need him? If the Knicks are rolling and things are going great, what if another team becomes you remember this too, like just because the Knicks were his team on the list now doesn't mean mid-season things can change pretty quick, where there might be another destination that makes sense for Giannis to go to, depending on where things land in the future. I do think it's pretty clear, and there's somebody I've been talking to that I know that has Bucks ties, and he was always telling me like it's not going to happen this year, but it's going to happen next year. And he's been telling me that for the last year. So I think when I saw that report,
I know you really do have this Bucks connection.
No, so when I saw that, that kind of made sense to me that, okay, like he kept saying he's not going to be traded this offseason. He's like, but the year after, I have no idea what the hell is going to happen. So after seeing that, I feel pretty confident in saying Giannis will not be with the Bucks next season. I do feel confident as well in saying that, if the Knicks did not go all in on Towns and did not go all in on Mikal Bridges, I feel pretty good about Giannis being on a Knicks roster right now. But they didn't have the assets to give up. And, from a Bucks perspective, a one-on-one swap with Karl Anthony Towns would be the worst possible trade a team could make. You might be thinking, well, why? You're getting back an all-star level, all NBA talent, but he's not as good as Giannis, and you're doing nothing with Giannis. Now, what are you going to do when you trade away your franchise star that the fans love and get back somebody that's has no ties to the organization, is not as good of a player? I mean, you're going to be middling to make the playoffs. If Towns is your best player, if you're the Bucks, you need a full-on reboot, and the Knicks didn't have those assets because the Nets did. And it will be interesting in the offseason, depending on how well the Nets play this year, how their rookies develop, to keep an eye on if the Nets are in play, if Giannis does become available, because they do have the assets, right? Nets are going to have a top blank pick. They're going to have all these young guys, but how much progress is made with their talent and their season would be interesting to see if Giannis would be on their radar, and maybe it won't even be if the Nets continue this rebuild. But just interesting to see how this thing develops moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, that's the interesting point about this, and it's a debate that I guess we won't really know an answer to. If the Mikal, I mean, I have an opinion, you have an opinion, everybody has an opinion, and everybody's right. You know what I mean? Because we don't know. Is that the Mikal Bridges trade stopped the Knicks from trading for Giannis right now? I mean, I don't necessarily think so. I think that all of these draft picks that the Knicks got from the Nets, I don't think that equals Giannis. A 27 unprotected, 29 unprotected. Those are going to be bottom of the first round. If you have Giannis, Brunson, and Towns, or Giannis, Brunson, and OG, or Giannis and Brunson, and then at 31, maybe a good pick. But, by then, who cares? So I don't know if, the haul of picks the Knicks gave up for Mikal Bridges equals Giannis. I think it's more of you have to get a third or fourth team involved, kind of like when the Nets got Harden. So in order to make it work, I think that's more feasible than here's 4 picks,
Cool.
because, these picks aren't going to be worth anything. And if a Bucks fan, Giannis is their guy. Giannis is their Kobe. Giannis is their Jason Kidd for you, even on steroids. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't mean literally on steroids. Getting a few unprotected picks and OG Anunoby is not going to, make you excited, or Karl Anthony Towns.
Well, you're right. There's never going to be a haul back for Giannis Antetokounmpo that's going to be equal. But also, this is the modern NBA where these type of trades are made. When the Nets traded all their draft assets and got Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, they traded away these picks. And at the time, everybody said, well, they won't have any value because the Nets are going to be so good. Same thing with James Harden.
I didn't say that.
Like that's how it happens. So you might be right in saying, oh, they're going to be late picks. But how else would this trade be done? That's how the trades are done. And they're lottery tickets, right? Like, look at the Nets already. They got 2 guys back in the deal for Mikal just this past year, one of which is Ben Saraff, which was the true trade piece pick. That wasn't the Bucks pick, but they're able to get Saraff back. And the Nets still have 3 more lottery tickets that are coming from the Mikal Bridges trade. So, yes, you're right. They probably will be later picks, but also you don't know how things change and how fast that landscape of the NBA moves and trades around. Like, look at the Damian Lillard trade. They're like, oh, we got Damian Lillard now to the Bucks. Who cares about those draft picks? Well, now those draft picks seem kind of interesting over the Portland Trailblazers. So things move and change fast. Yes, obviously in the beginning, those picks would not have as much value. But if you're the Bucks, you get a plethora of 5 first-round draft picks back from the Knicks. That's how you rebuild your team. That's how you give yourself assets and flexibility in the future. That's the only way to do it. So, yeah, to your point, of course, it's not equal to it, but what's the alternative? If the guy wants out of here, you're not going to let him walk. Then you're totally screwed. You at least get 5 first-round lottery tickets, and you see what happens.
Yeah, and I don't think the Bucks don't think the Bucks even have their own picks coming up because of the Damian
That's
Lillard
what I'm
trade.
saying.
So,
they need assets back.
Right, but they can't tank, so they need to get players because tanking is not going to do anything, So you might as well get players back, and so these draft picks, sure, they'll be great. You'll have a late first-round pick or mid first-round pick at worst, for the next 2 years. But what is that going to do for you? You know what I mean? Like, what is that? That's not going to. I guess Giannis was a mid first round pick in the first place, but that's
Would you rather have Karl Anthony
that's a
Towns?
once in a lifetime pick.
Would you rather have Carl? If you're the Bucks, would you rather have Karl Anthony Towns or 5 first round future draft picks to start
It
over?
depends where those picks are and who owns those picks.
So
like if the Knicks had some pick from like the Hawks,
Can you win a championship? What's the better route to try to win a championship? Karl Anthony Towns is your star and nobody else, or 5 first round picks into the 2020-31 to rebuild?
Well, obviously, getting the assets would seems like a better idea. But if you get Towns and then you make another trade, like let's say you make a 3 or 4 team trade, which is what it's going to have to happen in order for the Knicks to get Giannis, you would have to get other players involved and try to build another team and try to piece this thing together. Because otherwise, the Bucks are going to be in no man's land for years if they trade Giannis and just get draft picks back in 5 years. That's
the only way to rebuild. If you take on Karl Anthony Towns in that contract, you have no flexibility to do anything else. His contract is horrid. That's different for the Knicks.
Oh, I know.
Different for the Knicks when they're in a title chances. But if he's your number one star and your next best player is Miles Turner and Bobby Portis, that's it.
Right.
Like they are cooked with that.
Well,
trade.
you would have to make a trade in some regard where you're sending Towns to another team and you're taking back and trying to get your own picks back, kind of like what the Nets did. That's the only way that this can work for them. Because just getting, the Knicks picks in the future, and then this year you're going to suck, but you're not going to reap the benefits from sucking. Like, I don't know what that's going to do for you.
Now, you and I might have a disagreement on that part. I think the better route is to get first-round assets back and try to rebuild. But I will say this, like, if the Knicks had those picks, the Bucks are listening more. Like, you might disagree on the strategy, but if the Knicks have 5 first-round draft picks available that they did not have this offseason, the Bucks are listening way more. So the Bucks might have the thought process that I do, and if there's 5 first-round picks, they're listening to what the Knicks have to offer. They didn't listen right now, and I'd like. There's nuance of it. I'm sure there is, and that's what the timing of all of these things with the Mikal extension and everything else that's surrounding it. But if there's 5 first-round draft picks, the Bucks and Knicks are having a very different 2-week window.
So the Bucks, the Hawks have the Bucks right to swap this year, and the Pelicans, I think, have the Bucks, something with a protect the pick in 27. But 27 is irrelevant. But the 26 pick this year, if they were trading Giannis this offseason, is more valuable if they had their own pick. I think they're more likely to make a trade for Giannis just to get him off the team and get some future picks if they had their pick this year to tank and maybe get a top pick this year. And then you could sell that to your fan base. Like, we're trying to tank. We're trying to bottom out. Got these future picks also. Let's see what can happen. But I think it's less about Mikal Bridges and the amount of picks they gave up to get him, and it's more about the Bucks not having their own pick. Because why would they? It just doesn't. To me, it doesn't make sense. Like, if the Bucks are going to bottom out, what are they bottoming out for? For the Hawks to get a better pick? Like, what is that going to do for them? So it really doesn't make any sense. And then you're just a nothing franchise in the middle of the Midwest that nobody cares about, like the Bucks were before Giannis. I mean. It is to me, that's more what it is than Mikal Bridges. So I don't think Mikal Bridges trade cost the Knicks Giannis. I think it's more of the Bucks making these other trades to give up first round picks like that didn't mean anything, cost the Knicks Giannis at this point. And that's fine. The Knicks are a title contending team regardless. It doesn't make a difference to me. I'm not losing any sleep over it. I think in order for Giannis to get traded, he's going to have to demand a trade to the Knicks and only the Knicks. And I'm done with Milwaukee. And he has to come out and say it and stop being this half pregnant. If you want it, say it, and it'll happen in the NBA. In the NBA, trades don't have to make sense. They never do anymore. Luka got traded for Anthony Davis. The Harden trade with the Nets didn't make any sense. We were talking on this podcast when Harden was being rumored. Like, how are they going to get James Harden in his prime without giving up Kyrie? And they did.
They got draft assets involved to do it.
But they also got other teams involved. Like, that's the only way it to happen.
I'm not saying it's
this
not.
This guy went there. LeVert went there. Jalen Allen went to Cleveland. This guy's over here. You know what I mean? There was a million teams involved. That's the only way that it's going to happen. And the Mikal Bridges trade, in a nutshell, is not what cost the Knicks Giannis. It's all the Bucks mistakes and Giannis not saying that he wants to be traded to the Knicks and only the Knicks. He's just doing it in a really like fugazi kind of way.
Well,
just come out and say it.
Well, I'm trying to say
it's like Donovan Mitchell again. It's the same kind of thing.
If the Bucks would have been more inclined to make the deal right then, if there was 5 first-round draft picks coming back their way, there's no doubt in my mind that if they're engaging in a 2 weeks, because like
But
I
why?
said,
But like you're bottoming out for what?
for
Though that's the point you're not getting. Like you're bottoming out for what? Like you're bottoming out this year. You're getting Karl Anthony Towns and 5 first
yeah,
round picks, and fans are going to look at that like these
but what
picks are
other
going to
options?
suck.
What other
What is
else is
that going to
better
do
than
for
the
me?
alternative? I understand what you're
The
saying,
other
and
options is getting a 3-team trade
yeah,
involved in order
but
to do that.
what's the
Three
point
four
of
team trade.
if you're going to put a 3-team trade together where you're going to get Karl Anthony Towns and this guy, like then just use Giannis and get the other dudes. They don't have the flexibility to do it. If they did, they would have paired somebody with Giannis instead of getting Karl Anthony Towns and pairing someone with them. They would have kept Giannis and brought in that other person. They have nothing. They have nothing in the tank, and that's why they are desperate to get an assets in return. If they could have done what you're saying, make a 3-team deal, get Karl Anthony Towns, get this other guy, and here we go, then they would have just kept Giannis and gotten the other players. They can't do it. They're kind of fucked. And they need assets back. And the Knicks assets weren't available. And if they were, we're looking at a very different 2-week window where there's possibly a trade happening. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
They could have made that trade. If it's that simple, get
It's
in
your
Towns.
opinion.
If it's that
it's
bring
not
in,
a fact. I mean, it's our opinion. We
of
disagree.
course,
I think.
I
I
will
think
tell you
more likely.
there's
Oh,
a
go ahead.
better.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying it does happen. I'm telling you right now,
Mhm.
if I'm the Bucks and the Knicks said we can offer you our pick back, we can offer you this year's first round, we can give you 5 first-round draft picks plus other assets, other guys. I think they're more inclined to make that trade than they were because there was no flexibility. I mean, you go into a trade and you're the Knicks, you go, this is what I have to offer. And Milwaukee's like, well, at this point, this isn't good enough. We rather just keep Giannis for one more year and see how it plays out a little bit and take our chances. They're going, we can try to convince him to stay because what the Knicks have to offer right now isn't good enough.
I think the only way that a Giannis trade would have happened this past offseason is if the Hawks got involved and the Bucks got their pick swap back. And then they have their own pick for this year and they can tank and get a pick this year that they can develop a guy this year. And then you sell that to your fan base for a resetting. We got these future picks from the Knicks or from whoever, from whatever team. We got our pick swap back. We got some other teams involved and we got a couple of seconds. We got some firsts. Then you could sell that. Maybe you get Porzingis back from the Hawks and you just like send them off in the middle of the season or whatever. You know, that's the only way it could have happened this past offseason. So to your connections, point that works for the Bucks, that it's not gonna it wasn't gonna happen this offseason. I think it was irrelevant to the Mikal Bridges trade. I think it was because of the Bucks situation why it wasn't happening. And that's just my
I'm
opinion.
personally
And it is what it
thankful
is.
that they didn't have those picks to offer them because I think it would have
Okay.
changed the way they looked at this offseason. I do. I think it
Okay.
would have changed it. I do, and it doesn't mean that I'm right in the sense that the Knicks can win it all this year with Mikal. That they could still do it. It's definitely an option, right? Like,
Right.
it's not. I'm not saying
They almost did last year.
yeah. I mean, they got
So
pretty
it's
damn
like-
far.
Yeah.
And this year the East is definitely even more open, and the Knicks have more continuity, and they have a stronger bench. And I think
Mhm.
like this is a very must get to the finals here for the Knicks. If anything short of
yeah.
that is a colossal
Have to get
disappointment.
to the finals.
A colossal disappointment.
Have to get to the final. Have to get to the finals. Otherwise, why did you fire Tibbs? It's just it could blow up the whole thing. And then you trade for Giannis. Then you if you don't get to the finals, then you have this piece that you trade for Giannis, and maybe that's what the agent was thinking. Drop this before the season starts. Put the pressure on the Knicks too, not just the Bucks. Where if let's say things don't start off so well, like I got nervous, like we talked about a couple episodes ago, where let's say the Knicks start off, 7-6. You're like, well,
Right.
you got this Giannis nugget hanging in the background. Fans will start chattering. The rumors will get deeper. And now the Knicks, secrecy is gone where this didn't leak. Leon Rose, I mean, it leaked. I mean, there was a rumor that the Knicks and Giannis it was a rumor, but nobody really took it seriously. Maybe the players knew. Who knows? But it wasn't public, like confirmed by Shams. It was more of like, oh, Knicks and Giannis. Yeah, okay, whatever. Another superstar rumored to the Knicks, kind of a thing. Nobody took it seriously. So it was kind of not a big deal, even though we talked about it and other fans talked about it. But once the Knicks start slow, I don't want to say put that in the air. If the Knicks start slow or they're struggling mid-season and they're not, on pace for 60 wins, then it's going to be like, okay, this Giannis guy is right here. Right. What about that mid-season? Hey, February when you can trade Mikal, what's going on? So Who knows? We'll see.
Well, and the East is so bad, Alex, that there's just wins everywhere for the Knicks. It's not even.
Well, the
It's
Knicks are awesome too. It's not just that the East is
well,
bad. The
no,
Knicks are awesome.
it's a combination. I mean, it is a combination. If the Knicks
Yeah.
are in the West and they're still, air quotes, awesome, do you feel as confident about them winning 60 games?
I don't know.
No,
Honestly, I would feel confident that they'd be a top team in the West. I don't think I'd be
I
as
agree.
confident
I
as
agree
winning as
with
many
that.
games. For sure.
I would
I'd
say
still be confident they can get to the finals, but I wouldn't be as like, oh my god, they're going to win 65
right.
games.
The East
You
is
know
that
what I mean?
bad that there's just wins
Yeah.
everywhere. And
Right.
this is me saying I think if the Knicks are in the West, they're a mid 50 kind of win team to now like they're going to
Right.
blow it away. Like
You're not saying they're going to win 40 games if they were in the West. You're
no,
not saying that.
they're contending in the West, but you got to see Oklahoma City 4 times. You got to see Denver 4 times. You have to see the
Right.
Lakers, the like you have to see these teams 4 times. In the East, the Celtics are going to stink. The Pacers are going to be average. The Magic and the Hawks and the Cavs are the Knicks' biggest competition. I mean,
There's always going to be the Pistons are going to be good too. The Pistons will be good. I think the Pistons are going to take a step this year as well. But other than that, it's not like they're not 8 or 9 deep like the West is.
and the Sixers.
And the Sixers, yes. Who the Knicks beat twice
The Sixers,
in Abu Dhabi.
The Sixers stink. How did
Real quick,
Edgecombe look?
he can dunk, man. I mean, holy shit, that guy. But before we get to the Nets, real quick on the Knicks, it's so exciting considering the Knicks, upgraded their team completely. On the bench, like secretly, it almost feels like you got rid of Precious and Campaign, and you got Yabusele and Jordan Clarkson. I mean, that's a tremendous upgrade. The Knicks have guys; their top 10 guys can probably start on most teams in the NBA, and it's incredible how good they look. I know it's just the preseason, and I'm not overdoing it just because of the preseason. But I sent you a clip. I only watched 1 quarter of this preseason, the second game, because it was on at weird times for me, holidays, and just 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday when spending time with my son. Like, it's just impossible to watch. So I rewatched the first quarter, Anyway, I'm rambling. First quarter of the second game is all I watched on a replay. And there was one play I sent you, and it was a missed shot by the Sixers, and it turned into a fast break alley-oop for Mitchell Robinson. That got me so excited, not because of an alley-oop to Mitchell Robinson, which I've seen 1,000 times. It was the fact that a missed shot turned into a fast break. Like, when have you seen that from the Knicks? Right. And I'm not getting excited about these passing videos they're putting out on social media. I'm not getting excited about any of that nonsense because the Knicks were a passing team before. They got late in the fourth quarter and it just was ISO Brunson. It'll still be ISO Brunson with Mike Brown late in the fourth quarter. That's just how it is in the NBA when you have a star player of that caliber. But like that is all just fluff and trying to prop up the new coach and get everybody excited, and that's fine. But the stuff that got me excited was something like that, where it's a missed shot into a fast break. That never happens. Right. That means the Knicks are looking to push it. They're looking to move. They're looking to dish. They're looking to get guys down the floor. They're looking to lob it to Mitchell Robinson, which is like a cheat code. And I don't know why they didn't use that as much. I think that regard in opening the offense and getting a coach in here that has been around the block as well and that knows offense a little more and is not as stubborn, is willing to listen to somebody else's suggestions, I think could take the Knicks to the next level.
It's a good point by you. It's
thank you.
No, it is, because
let's end the show. That's it.
Fine. The clips that come out where they're showing differences in the nuance in preseason offense, how they're moving the ball. It's like I guarantee you, if you go back to the 82 regular season games, even into the playoffs, you could find moments where the Knicks passed it to each other. I feel pretty confident about that. Now, if you're going
I actually looked because I know for a fact there were times I couldn't find them.
It is also true when you get in the playoffs, there's a lot more isolation. Now, there was too much Brunson isolation at times, which did hinder the Knicks, and they had issues because Karl Anthony Towns was a ghost. He disappeared sometimes in fourth quarters. He had a couple of good fourth quarters, in particular a game in Detroit, and then the Pacer game 4 or 5, I guess game 4 or 3. I can't remember now, but
doesn't matter.
The point is, that does happen. I do think, though, which is interesting with Mike Brown here, is there's just less noise surrounding everything in the coaching room, which you would say is kind of strange for a guy in his first year. You'd think there'd be so many questions, but fortunate or unfortunately, Tibbs carried baggage around. And the baggage that he carried was that he overplayed players. He was stubborn the way he coached. and that he had a hard time going in a different direction. And there would be the same questions over and over and over again to him. And that baggage would come with him, especially in the playoffs when he was micromanaged. Now, when the Knicks get to the playoffs, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Mike Brown because, as you alluded to, this team needs to make the NBA Finals based on their talent level and the talent in the East. But right now, there's just a sense of kind of this dark cloud. And I don't want to make it's not like it was a dark cloud with Tibbs, but there's definitely a little bit of sense of relief with just like the same stupid narratives and same stupid questions. And I say stupid because they had to be asked. This is just not there anymore. Right now, it's just like, okay, this is the Knicks. High expectations, veteran coach, go get them. And there's less.
Yeah.
And maybe when games start, and then there can be like, all right, why did you do that? But until then, there's that. You just can't like obsess over Tibbs and rotations and minutes. Like it's all just been cleared. And it's just really right now about like, we're the Knicks. We got a deep team. We got to see what happens.
Yeah. It's the narrative. It's the narrative that gets put on you. And Melo talks about this on his podcast all the time. And it's like once the media or they, quote unquote, they put a narrative on you, that's all anybody's going to think about.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Tibbs did, make the narrative true a lot at the times that he was here. But it also wasn't fair some of the times. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mike Brown played his players a lot in Sacramento as well. Like you look at the average minutes for De'Aaron Fox and guys like that, like it was like 37, 38 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? But I think he's smart enough to understand, Mike Brown, that coming here, all he has to do is do things a little different than Tibbs, and he'll be a hero. And the deck is clear for him. He's got a championship ready team. He's been around the block. This is a guy who was an assistant with the Spurs with Duncan and Parker and all those guys. And Kawhi,
he knows the league.
Assistant with Steph Curry and the Warriors. One that got to the finals with LeBron James in Cleveland. You know his resume. He's Coach Kobe also. This guy has been around the block. Like there's nothing he hasn't seen. That's why I'm not worried about this Giannis story. He knows what the deal is. He knows how to handle this stuff.
Totally.
He's seen it all. So all he has to do is just not play his players in the late fourth quarter when you're up 30 points. And you'll be a guy that, that is the anti-Tibbs, and that's all.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. It's just going to be about what happens. I mean, I hate to minimize everything, but obviously if health is good, it's going to be about what happens in May in the second round when they're playing the Magic. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be like, why didn't we double team Paulo? What happened? Why don't
you make an adjustment?
That's what it's going to come down to. But until then, it's just fluff. I'm sorry, but the Knicks regular season is fluff, and I'd say that in the most ultimate compliment. If they're healthy,
as long as they win,
they're going to win.
As long as they win,
there's no way. This is not me putting the voodoo on the Knicks because if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm decked out of I was feeling very Netsy today. There's just no way if this team's healthy, they are losing basketball games. It's just not going to happen. They're too talented and too deep and have too much chemistry with the same continuity. If this was their first year together, but they basically just added a couple of bench guys and they have Mitch now fully healthy. Like there's no way they're losing games with knock on wood health. There's just no other way. They can't. They have too much. Look at the other teams.
It'll be a disaster.
If you look at the other teams based on where they are, if they're losing games to them, like this is not the Mets where they're on paper they have all this talent,
right?
And obviously the pitching went south. Baseball's very different in that regard. But there's no way with a team that has a starting lineup of those guys is going to be losing to the Pacers on a Tuesday who are depleted now. They're losing to the Nets. Right. They're losing to the Celtics. Like these teams aren't the same. There's just no way. It's the league. They're going to lose on back-to-backs. They're not going 82-0, but the Knicks are going to win 58 to 62 games. I mean, it's just going to happen. I've accepted it. And that's why, like for me, I can't get when they start winning games. It is what it is. I got to deal with it, and I got to know. Cavs won 65 last year in the regular season and flamed out. Like shit can happen.
Your anxiety's got to wait for the playoffs.
I got to wait for the playoffs. It's a waste of my mental capacity and energy to be worried about that. I got to be worried, which I'm excited about, is a Nets team that's rebuilding and they got young players. And like I got to watch on Saturday night. They played not an NBA team, so you can't judge it based on that. But it was just fun. I'm saying this. It was fun watching guys that I know are part of a future. That was exciting, even though two of their rookies did not play in Yegor Damon and Drake Powell. Like, they did not play. But I got to see Nolan Traore. I got to see Danny Wolf. I got to see Ben Suroff start. Like, I got to see Noah Clowney a little more developed and have a good game. Like, that was fun. Like, I enjoyed seeing my rookie point guards on the court. That was cool. It's been a journey, but to even get to this spot was fun to watch and not have a debate about which guys are going to play that are going to be G League. Like, they were legit new young Nets, and got to see Cam Thomas. He played well, and it was fun. I enjoyed it from a sense of it was my guys, and I got to watch my guys play.
No, it's exciting. I mean, it's exciting as a Nets fan if you're a Nets fan to see somebody that's the future or could be the future. It's all about hope, and the worst place to be as a franchise is a team with no hope and no chance, and that's what the Nets were last year. And now it's you have the hope, and the hope is in person. And there's 5 people that we talk about this all the time. That if 1 or 2 or 3 hit, even if they're just legitimate NBA starters, your franchise turns around completely.
Yep.
and or they can be trading chips like what the Knicks did with RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly and get OJ Anunoby, or you know what I mean? It's just things like that can happen. That this is the first step, and it's like you're finally starting to see the step. And even if they're again playing, a team from another country, it's one of those preseason games just to have some fun and get some guys in another country in America and on display. That it's just nice to see them, and we'll see what happens. It's still a real game. I mean, these guys they're not playing like middle schoolers.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's still grown men that are sort of pros.
Professionals.
So it's, yeah, it's still a game. It's like playing an Olympic game, but it's good for Net fans to have some hope. I'm proud of you guys.
Don't be condescending. Don't be condescending. Don't be condescending. I'm not going to take. Don't be condescending.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I knew that would piss you off. I apologize.
Don't be condescending. Don't be condescending about that.
I couldn't help it. That just came out. I saw your face, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect."
Don't be condescending about it. I mean, it is what it is. We are in this position. Unfortunately, it is better. It's not the one that the Knicks are in right now, but it's just time. We just have to wait through it and just know that in 8 months, 7 months, there's going to be a moment where you're going to be really upset. But until then, you have to just got to wait it out, right? Like when you lose to the Magic in Game 6 and Jalen Brunson goes 3 for 16 and didn't pass the ball, and Mikal starts, like, I just have to, wait for that moment, and just eventually we will get there. But until then, you're going to have your good wins against the Grizzlies, and fans are going to freak out, and just have to remember that it's only in due time until you get your medicine.
Right. And I mean, in the meantime, the Knicks fans will look at the Nets and be like, "Hey, good, get in there, little guy. Good job, little sport," and rub his head and rub the Nets head. Like, "Good job, bud."
Yeah, and I'm used to that. I mean, that's I'm just used to that my whole life. Which is probably why I despise the organization so much.
I know.
Like people say
the Nets are doing the right thing. The Nets are doing the right thing, and Nets fans should have hope. I'm just busting balls.
This is my new thing too. When people are like, "Oh," like we had somebody on the podcast. It's like, "Oh, I never met a New Jersey Net fan." And I always say, "Well, I've never met an actual Knick fan that paid attention when they sucked." So I guess.
Have. Yeah, so.
Man, that stuff gets on my nerves. You know how to tweet. Like, that will tweak me more than anything you can say about anything. But
I get it. So who right now, gun to your head, out of the 5 rookies, who do you think is going to be the best?
After what? Well, it's hard to say because Yegor didn't play because he's hurt. I haven't seen
this once an episode.
But I felt very good about Suroff. That was I was very, because he was big. He got to the basket at will. And again, it's like, shit, I don't know. He wasn't playing NBA players, but he got to the basket whenever he wanted. He either created a layup for himself or an open shot for a teammate. And that was great to see. I was very impressed with him.
So Suroff is your guy this week. We'll do this every week. Who's the guy out of the 5 picks?
I like this segment. But yeah, I will go Suroff. I was very pleased with what I saw. I was happy about that. I was happy.
Right, cool.
And they play again on Friday. I've seen 2 different times. I have to confirm this because they're in China and they're playing the Suns on Friday. So one place it said 9:30 p.m. and one place it said 8 a.m. So clearly I saw one that was China time and one that was America time. And
So
I
it's
don't know.
probably, I would guess.
Yeah. So that because I really
What
want to
time
watch.
is it in China right now? That's what would
Yeah, I
help.
know. Time in
I'm really bad
China.
with time zones.
So it's
once it gets
6:38 p.m. right
that
now.
far.
So it's 12
Oh,
hours. So then
so
maybe
it's
it
got to
is.
be in the morning.
It is the morning,
Yeah.
which means I'll record it and watch it at night. Can't watch Friday at 8 a.m. Not ideal.
Yeah. I
Respect
didn't
to the people that
understand.
do.
Yeah. No,
Like,
I get it.
I guess if it's your job, it's one thing, but respect to people that like have jobs and they're like, I'm watching this game.
Some
I'm like, how do you
people
get away with
could.
this?
Well, some people can work in offices. I've had jobs in my early 20s when I was working in different offices where I'd be able to like prop my phone up and like watch something as I'm working, and it'd be like nonsense Netflix. It wouldn't be like a basketball game, obviously, but
Yeah.
you know, so I get that, but I don't understand how many people are able to, like, with the Knicks game at 12 o'clock. I know it was Yom Kippur, so a lot of people had
Probably
off
home.
because of the holiday.
Nick, that's what it was.
You know, and non-Jews were able to just be home, or non-Jews who just don't observe were able to be home and watch it at 12 o'clock. You know, but I don't understand how many people are able to just watch that without a problem in the middle of the workday. I get Saturday at 11 a.m. People are off and they can watch that, but like me personally, with a 2-year-old and a family, like, you know, and you, like 11 o'clock on a Saturday is like, there's no shot you're watching anything at 11 o'clock on a Saturday.
It's hard. You just got to record it and watch it at night.
Record it. Yeah, preseason game, I'm not bothering, especially Saturday, the day before football Sunday, where I'm gonna be watching games. Like, it's just like, Knicks preseason. Don't worry about it, honey. I'm gonna give this one up for you, and you got to play the game like, oh, I know the Knicks mean a lot to you, you know. So it's like you got to play that like card, so you can watch the Jets with no regrets. But you know, I wish I chose the other way.
No regrets.
You know, like,
no regrets.
I regretted it myself.
No, that Sunday frustrated the fuck out of me with the Giants.
That was the worst.
They were up 14-3, had everything going right. And that Giant loss was weird because it was the same as ending. But most Giant losses are like they're just not good enough and they're just getting beat everywhere. This was self-inflicted wounds that caused them to just unravel. Interceptions, bad fumbles, horrible penalties. And it was like, wow. You guys did everything wrong to lose this game, and you had it. And, you know, the Eagles are world beaters now, but it's hard to imagine the Giants beating the Eagles on Thursday.
No, I understand this, but Thursday games are weird. Thursday games are never
Saquon's
like
questionable too. I saw so.
Yeah, he's gonna play. I mean, I can't see him not playing against the Giants, but I just feel that the Thursday game you can sneak one, especially with. I mean, the Eagles are weird because their receivers are pissed, but they're winning every game.
They lost last week though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. But still, like they're really good. You know, they're
better than the Giants. Clearly.
Yeah,
I'm not saying anything profound there.
They can literally just do the push tush like 30 times in a game and win a game, and everybody would be pissed. So it's just like, you know, we have this cheat code, but it's pissing off our star players that we pay a lot of money to. So like, what are we gonna do? So that could be a ticking time bomb, but I don't think it'll happen on Thursday. But I do have a football and basketball related question. I asked this on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it at Knicks Central. Okay, the Knicks play 5 games in October. They play at home to the Cavs, at home to the Celtics, and then they're away for the Heat, Bucks, and Bulls.
So you're saying by October 31st, they will have played 5 games?
Yes, against those teams that I just mentioned. Who wins more games in October, the Knicks or a combination of the Jets and the Giants?
So
the Giants already won one.
So
right?
Okay. Probably the Knicks.
So what's the Giants?
The Nets might win more. This might be more of an indictment on them than it is at like how good the Knicks are.
Right. So the Giants
Knicks will probably win 3 or 4 or 5. I mean, the Knicks are going to win 3, 4, or 5, right? Maybe, let's say they go 4-1.
Oh, the Giants didn't even win one because they won that game on September 28th, so they haven't won one yet. So they got the Eagles.
So you're not even
the
counting
Broncos.
The win they have. Yeah, there's no way. So you're saying no.
So they got the Eagles, the Broncos, the Eagles, Broncos, Eagles, and the Jets are going to lose every game.
Yeah, you could put the Nets as the other team, and the answer would be the Nets. This has nothing to do with the Knicks. This has everything to do with the football teams. I'm being honest. Pick any NBA team that can get 1 win
in 5 games.
Answer. Yeah, if the Jets proven to you that they're going to win,
no.
Although, thank you for that late touchdown from Fields to Wilson. That was good for my
Oh, yeah,
daily fantasy
fantasy.
team. That was some garbage points I got from those guys right there. It was great.
Oh no, Justin Fields is awesome at garbage time touchdowns. He's like his stats look great. Like his
No,
garbage
he put
time.
up a nice daily score. Like 25.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not his fault though. There's 2 opening drives or fumbles by the running backs as they're running into the end zone like 2 weeks in a row. Like only the Jets, man. Like that's insane. And 2 kickoff return fumbles in the season and downing a punt at the 2. Like there's so many things that are just like out of the control of the players and the coach, and then everybody's just blaming the coach. I know he might be a little overwhelmed. He's a rookie coach, a rookie offensive coordinator, rookie GM, but like he took over this roster, which is shit. And then you had one offseason where you didn't even get a chance to prepare for the draft and because you just got hired. And it's just like, how do you expect him to turn it completely around? Like, yeah, these self-inflicted penalties and things like that should be fixed. But this team is just bad. They're just bad.
How
on defense
did Jet fans go from with Aaron Rodgers, one of the best complete rosters in football, to now it's just complete shit? Now I know there's been
they
some
lost
turnover.
a lot.
Yeah,
they lost DJ Reed. They lost. They have like their linebackers. Like they're without Quincy Williams and Jermaine Johnson, which are 2 high level starters. On like their captain of their defense, Quincy Williams. Like people just forget that those guys are gone. So you have to play Michael Clemens because there's no Jermaine Johnson, and you couldn't cut him because there's no Jermaine Johnson. So there's a lot of things that are not, the fault of Aaron Glenn that is becoming his fault. I mean, when you're the coach, is heavy as a hat that wears the crown. I get it, but you got to relax. Like this team, they should have won at least a game or 2 in these first 4 or 5 games, whatever it was that they lost. But it's like,
that's
I don't understand the heat that he's getting. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to fire everybody after this year and then start over again with another? Like, what are we doing? Unless Harbaugh gets fired by the Ravens, like that's the only guy that I may think about it. You just got to give the guy 2 years and give him an all season.
I mean, that's NFL football games, though. It's like the Giants in week 3 or week 2 versus the Cowboys. I mean, they basically had that one, and then a 67-yard field goal ties it, right? Like, but they lost. And that's
the thing. Jets lost week 1 on a fumble on a kickoff and a 60-yard field goal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know. Yeah. There's a lot of like crap like that. I mean, it's coaching, and a lot of it is coaching, and a lot of it is play. But I think a lot of it's coaching, but most of it is just a lack of talent. I mean, if you look at the Giants in the Super Bowl, I know this is an extreme example, but was it coaching when Tyreek caught the ball off his helmet? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a give or take. Like, you got to have talent to get places, but also coaching in the NFL does have the biggest impact on the team on the field. So I get that, but I'm watching guys in these games. I'm watching every second of these Jets games, and guys are in position to make tackles and make plays. They're just not making them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all like penalties and schemes. You know what I'm saying?
The ultimate. This is why I say winning a championship. See your team win a championship, you need so many things to go correctly. From talent, you have to have talent. If you don't have talent, it's not happening. You need to have a lot of luck. You need to have luck. You need to have health, and you need to have coaching. I mean, all those things have to happen. Now, is one more important than the other? The one that's the most important is talent. If you don't have talent, the other things don't even matter, right? Like, who cares? It's true. It doesn't matter how good your coaches and your schemes are. If you don't have people that can do the job, it's irrelevant. But all of that needs to collectively work to win a championship. And it's hard, man. It's hard. I thought I had it with the Nets, where coaching didn't even matter. That's how good they were. It didn't even matter. And I believe that. To some extent, when Harden and Kyrie and Durant were actually on the court together, it did not matter who was on the other team.
You could coach.
Yeah, well, it would be me saying, all right, Kevin, what are we doing?
Right. Pick and roll.
Take the lead. And I would just be like Steve Nash clapping on the side.
Yeah.
But all that has to come together.
Clapper. It was a good clapper.
Bad Weather Fans, episode 283. Make sure to check us out on YouTube. You can subscribe to the channel and get a little bit closer to the NBA season, which is now basically how many days away, Alex? 15, 14, 13?
They're 13 days away from the NBA opening game and 14 days away from the Knicks opening game.
And the Knicks play the Cavs to start, right?
Knicks play the Cavs, yep.
In New York or Cleveland?
It's in New York.
It's going to be a fun game. It'll be interesting.
It will be.
See the Cavs. Mitchell always seems to play. That's a fun game. Like if I take my New York Knicks hate out of the equation, and just from a basketball standpoint, you got the 2 best teams in the East. I would say coming into the season, I don't think many people would argue against that playing each other at the Garden, which typically has a better than average atmosphere. That's a fun game.
Is that game on NBC or is it on? Oh, it's on ESPN. Ah, fuck. I wanted to see the opening of the NBA on NBC. Is that going to be the opening game on NBC or is
What
it
is the opening game? That will be fun. And for those
day before
that don't remember, that are not our age, because the first ABC took over in 2003. The last year of NBA on NBC was Nets Lakers finals.
Really? I didn't know that. That's crazy.
You know
so
how
you ruined it.
See,
your fault.
I remember it so well because I was so locked in. I think if you're just a big NBA fan, you probably did all blurs together. But when you're legit seeing your franchise in the finals, the only times in your life, you remember the broadcast. So it was ABC the second time they went to the finals. The first year was NBC. So 2002 finals was the last time NBA on NBC had coverage.
So the opening game Tuesday, October 21st, Rockets at Thunder at 7:30 p.m. will be on NBC and Peacock. So let's see if they bring back the round ball rock.
I think they will.
I don't think they did it in the preseason. They've done some preseason games.
Don't do it in the preseason. Yeah. Could you imagine if they had a whole new song? That would be one of
everybody. Be like, what's the point? Like, why do we care?
That would be a horrific mistake. I don't think they're doing. There might be some tweaks that happen. I'm sure there'll be little.
Might sound like new age,
which
we'll all
hate.
Audio.
I can. Here's my guarantee. My pick of my guarantee for you. Ready?
Okay.
They will have
Mike's guarantee of the
week.
They
will have tweaks to the song. That song will then be played on sports radio, and said sports radio host will complain about that.
Oh yeah,
and that will be a segment. I am saying that right. I am predicting the future.
That makes sense. And sports radio hosts, especially on WFN, have become WWE wrestlers.
This has nothing to do with the fan. This is a generalization.
Everything, yeah. No, I know.
But
everything's WWE now. Nobody has real opinions anymore, so it's stupid. But
all right,
I get it. But that would be the same way in any era, like you're saying.
Yes, yes.
WWE sports talk hosts. No, I get it. So
all right, bad weather fans 283. We'll talk to you later.